Hey boys, we're back today with some more Risk of Rain 2 lore. Thank you guys for all the support. We got past 1,000 subs, which is amazing, and I'm like losing my mind over it. And the Twitch follows too. Thanks for those. I'll get back into streaming later. I haven't been able to with the 2 jobs and moving and all that, but hopefully we can get back on there, play some games with you guys, listen to some chill beats, and just discuss lore and stuff. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about the Mired Urn and the Tar theory, which I think everybody's excited about, and it's a really interesting topic, so let's get right to it. The effect for the Mired Urn basically reads, while in combat, the nearest +1 per stat characters to you within 13 meters will be tethered to you, dealing 100% damage per second, applying Tar, and healing you for 100% of the damage. This is an amazing item on characters like Rex, or kind of anyone, as long as you don't have a friendly fire artifact on, because it'll like literally kill your teammates. It's a terrible item to pick up with that artifact on. But moving along to the 3D model. So the 3D model is just an ancient looking urn, and there's just tar leaking out of it. But I guess this is significant because every form that the tar comes in, enemy types, most of the time the tar is contained in some type of like urn or clay casing, so it might be relevant. Okay, moving on to the flavor text, which is another analysis log, because after we beat the game, they bring a lot of subjects back or stuff back from the planet so they can study it. So, lab dissection analysis file, subject Mired Urn, technician J Flint, table spec, full enclosure AY2 with ARMM kit. The survey team went through a lot of trouble to bring this one back. Fitz was the only one left standing. In fact, he said he felt great, and the rest are still in the recovery ward. Subject is what appears to be a clay vase. Could this be part of a camouflaging defense mechanism? Inside the vase is a dark gooey substance. Goo can articulate into functioning appendages. Intelligence of subject indeterminable at this point. When operating the ARMM kit, goo attaches to all but one of them. Instability in the ARMM power system aborts the procedure. To even begin deciphering this piece of lore, we need to go all the way back to Risk of Rain 1 and talk about the first clay or tar enemy we encounter, which is the Clayman. Just taking a look at the Clayman's form, he basically looks like a regular, well, he looks very human. Other than the clay pot on his head and the body made of tar, he looks very human. And the field notes read, quick with his sword and quicker with his feet, the agility of these clay people is unexpected with a form so roughly shaped. When faced with one of the few creatures here, which I feel some humanity in, my aloneness closes in. Why do they have clay pots on their heads? Could it be protection from this cruel reality, or maybe just to hide the scars from this brutal planet? This is really interesting because the person speaking says he feels some humanity in the Clayman. Well, basically due to its form, it looks pretty human. It has a regular human form, but he knows it isn't. But this brings up another important point. If you guys remember in the abandoned aqueduct, there is the lore log for that. We read about a survivor crashing there, and he falls into some of the tar with a medi unit, and basically he begins to mutate due to the tar. Also, side note, the community think that it's Enforcer, and that's what happens to him. He falls down there and mutates. Rip Enforcer. But this shows us that the tar can mutate living biological things, which is another interesting point. So the Clayman might not have always just been a being made of tar. The next relevant enemy are Clay Templars, which will probably give us some more insight into it. Okay, let's look at the lore log for that. Oh wait, there's no data. Try again. But all jokes aside, guys, the next lore log that's relevant comes from the boss enemy, the Clay Dune Strider, and this gives us even more information that lets us draw to bigger conclusions about the tar. But moving on to the lore log for the Clay Dune Strider, it's from the perspective of another survivor that's stranded. Click. There are no landmarks in sight. I'm surrounded by infinite desert. Click. Click. I've run out of rations, and no one is responding to my transponder. I may be doomed if I don't find a way out of these dunes. Click. Click. I see something in the distance, some large creature. I may be in luck yet. Click. Click. Oh, my eyes have deceived me. It was not a creature, but a herd. There was more than one. Many more. Hundreds of enormous creatures moving as a mob, and each one the biggest beast I have ever seen. These striders resembled enormous spiders or hermit crabs in a porcelain shell with legs dark like tar. Between the sound and the sand, the entire herd bounded past me without realizing, moving at incredible speeds on their long legs. Were they fleeing or migrating? I still can't believe what a terrible place. Get me out. Click. Click. I still have no food. Click. Okay. There's two theories here, boys. Well, basically, the first theory I have developed through all the information is that the tar itself is basically sentient. Like, we can tell from the Mired Urn, the Claymen, and the Clay Templar, as well as the Clay Dune Strider, they are beings of tar that function with the tar. And they don't really need any biological organism, but the thing they do need is the clay pots or a porcelain pot or something to be able to traverse the world, as the tar can't simply exist and travel outside of the world. As we see in the abandoned aqueduct, the tar is just sitting down there and has no way to just escape or leave where it is. So that's one theory. And the other theory is that the tar itself can mutate biological organisms, as we've seen with the lore log for the aqueduct. But for it to mutate when it mutates certain biological organism, each organism's form is different. Something different happens to each organism that's infected by the tar. Everything that happens to one organism may not happen to another. And to be honest, both of these theories can be viable, or they both can happen at the same time. The tar can be able to function on its own without a host, or also function by mutating a biological organism. But those are just some of the theories I developed on the tar. Let me know any theories you guys developed, any of your thoughts. And if you guys want another perspective on the tar, check out Denizu's video on the tar. I'll put a link at the end of the video, or a hyperlink or something for it. But let me know what you guys think. Hopefully we get the Clay Templar lore log soon, so we can, get some more ideas about what the hell is going on with the tar. But like, sub, share, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.